Chike was only 14 when his father passed away. The funeral was a blur. Faces he barely recognized, prayers, the sharp scent of dust mixed with tears. But one moment from that day stayed with him forever. As they lowered his father's coffin, his uncle placed a heavy hand on his shoulder and said, "You're the man of the house now. Take care of your mother and your siblings." Chike didn't even know what that meant. He was still in junior secondary school, barely old enough to understand life, let alone run a family. But from that day, the world seemed to expect something different from him. The playful boy who loved football and comic books was gone. In his place stood a teenager forced to grow up overnight. Life after his father's death changed in ways Chike couldn't explain. His mother tried to shield him from the family's financial problems, but he could hear the hushed conversations at night, the unpaid rent, the dwindling savings, the list of school fees for his younger siblings. He noticed the way she worked herself to exhaustion selling fabric in the market. He noticed the way she skipped meals so the children could eat. One evening, Chike overheard her crying in the kitchen. That was the night he decided, if I can help, I will, no matter what it costs me. At 15, he started taking odd jobs after school, washing cars, running errands for neighbors, helping a local electronics shop on weekends. His grades dropped, but nobody noticed. Everyone just praised him for being so responsible. Chike's dream was to study architecture. He loved drawing buildings, imagining spaces that didn't yet exist. But architecture school was expensive, and by the time he finished secondary school, the family's finances were even worse. His mother couldn't afford university. His younger siblings were still in school, and every naira mattered. So Chike made a choice. He turned down his admission offer and started working full-time at a hardware store. The day he declined that admission letter, he didn't tell anyone how it felt. He smiled at his siblings and said, "Don't worry, I'll try again later." But deep inside, something in him broke. Years passed. Chike became the one the family called for everything. Rent to do it? Call Chike. School fees? Call Chike. Hospital bills? Call Chike. Even extended family members began to see him as the problem solver. They didn't ask how he was doing. They didn't ask if he was okay. They just assumed he could handle it. And Chike, he never complained. On the outside, he was reliable, strong, unshaken. But inside, he was tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. By 27, Chike was working as a supervisor at a construction company. The pay was decent, but the responsibilities kept growing. One night, alone in his small apartment, he sat at the edge of his bed and stared at his hands. They were rough, calloused, not just from work, but from years of holding everything together. He thought about the things he had never done: traveling, dating seriously, even buying something expensive for himself without guilt. Instead, every paycheck went to survival, his family's survival. He wondered if anyone would still love him if he stopped providing. The thought scared him.